And now these are the Luke chapter 24 and we're going to read from verse 36 through to 43. Remember, this is the first day of the week after the Sabbath. And first of all, Mary and the women came to the tomb, and they find that the tomb is empty. And they see two angels who say, "Why are you looking for the living among the dead, among tombs? Because Jesus is alive." It says here that also the Lord had appeared to Simon. And then these two, one was called Cleopas, are walking to a little town called Emmaus. And as they go, walking away from Jerusalem, very sad, talking about everything that had happened, Jesus comes and walks with them. And he reveals himself to them. And as soon as they see that it's Jesus, Jesus disappears, and they get back, they hot-foot it back to Jerusalem. And after sundown in Jerusalem, so it was no longer the first day of the week, it was now the Tuesday, it was the evening of the Monday, of the Sunday, if you like. In those days, the day ended, they believe the day ended at sundown. And they came and they told the 11 disciples and the other believers what had happened, the other followers of Jesus. And while they were telling these things, these two were telling these things to the 11 and to the other disciples, he himself stood in their midst and said to them, "Peace be to you." But they were startled and frightened and thought they were seeing a spirit. And he said to them, "Why are you troubled? And why do doubts arise in your hearts? See, my hands and my feet, that it is I myself. Touch me and see, for a spirit does not have flesh and bones, as you see that I have." And when he had said this, he showed them his hands and his feet. And while they still could not believe it because of their joy and amazement, he said to them, "Have you anything here to eat?" And they gave him a piece of broiled fish, and he took it and ate it before them. Here we are, these disciples, they are just blown away by everything that was happening on that first day of the week. These women who'd come and they said, "We've seen angels." Simon, who had seen the Lord. These two who were on the road to Emmaus, going away from Jerusalem. They had seen the Lord. And they came back. And there they were, the group of disciples, and the women and the other disciples. And suddenly, when the doors are shut, Jesus appears and he says, "Peace, shalom, be to you." And they were startled and frightened. Where did he come from? What's going on? I expect they're pinching each other and just saying, "Do you see him too?" And they, "Yeah, I do see him." And Jesus said, "Why are you troubled? And why do doubts arise in your hearts? Because Jesus is alive." And you may have doubts in your own heart. And Jesus would say, "Why are you troubled? And why do doubts arise in your hearts?" Jesus really is alive. He is. It is. It is fact. And Jesus shows them his hands, which would have had the imprints of the nails, and his feet, which had the imprints of the nails where he was crucified. And he said, "Look, I'm a real person. I'm flesh and blood, just like you. But I am risen from the dead. I've got a glorified body. I'm as real as every one of you in this room is. Look, give me something to eat. I'll show you I can eat something." Because Jesus has risen from the dead. He's not dead anymore. He's alive. We can put our trust in him. We can rely upon him. He is real. And those disciples saw him in the flesh. Jesus is alive. He's alive. He was alive then. He's alive today. He's never died since. And we can know him in our hearts. And we can welcome him in, and we will find that he will give us faith to believe all that is true. We will know that Jesus is alive, that he loves us, that he cares for us, that he's washed away our sins, that we're going to go and be with him forever. It's a wonderful thing to put your trust in Jesus.